Oh, we have so much to get to on yet another day of drama and international intrigue here in the United States. The scandals are multiplying. The wheels are coming off the wagon. I would say the president is starting to unravel, but that would imply he was raveled in the first place. I think he might be smoking black market vapes. That might be the... Trump tweeted and retweeted more than 100 times this weekend. Since Friday, the president has tweeted 130 times and counting. These are his tweets. And he's playing all the hits. He called this the greatest witch hunt in the history of our country. Even his witch hunts are the greatest in the history. He wrote, if that perfect phone call with the president of Ukraine isn't considered appropriate, then no future president can ever again speak to another foreign leader. Right. All overseas phone calls will be disallowed hereforth. It was a perfect conversation with Ukraine president. And who's he quoting here? That's right, he's quoting himself. Again, the president of Ukraine said there was zero pressure put on him by me, case closed. That's right. The manager of the bank did not feel threatened when I came in to rob the place at all. And his next illegal act, by the way, will be going after the whistleblower, which, look at this, fake whistleblower. That's the whistle he blew was fake. I bet he's looking all over the White House for a guy with a whistle in his mouth right now. He's losing what little was left of his mind. He even retweeted a comedy Twitter account called Trump But About Sharks. This is an account that takes his tweets and makes them about sharks. So he retweeted it. He's so rattled. For lunch today, aides say he ate a bucket of Adderall and snorted his fried chicken, which is this idea that he wants to meet the, he wants to meet the whistleblower. Actually, the quote was, I deserve to meet my accuser. That, to me, is an indication that maybe he isn't entirely clear on how whistleblowing works. Usually when Trump thinks he deserves to meet someone, he just barges into her dressing room and says, welcome to the Miss Universe pageant. But I know he won't, but he better be careful with this whistleblower stuff. It is quite clearly both illegal and unethical to target a government whistleblower. They're protected by law. But this dope, not only does he do it, he puts it in writing. He writes, I want to meet not only my accuser, who presented second and third-hand information, but also the person who illegally gave this information, which was largely incorrect, to the whistleblower. Was this person spying on the U.S. president? Big consequences. That doesn't read like a threat, does it? Trump could be the first American president to get impeached by a whistleblower. This could be... Thank you. I wonder if that got bleeped. According to a new poll, a majority of Americans, 55%, say they support an impeachment inquiry. That means some Republicans are for it, too. But Trump, in what felt like a very desperate move, posted a video to Twitter as if he can't get on the news to tell his supporters that he has no intention of going anywhere anytime soon.
What's going on now is the single greatest scam in the history of American politics. The Democrats want to take away your guns. They want to take away your health care. They want to take away your vote. They want to take away your freedom. They want to take away your judges. They want to take away everything.
And back to Mar-a-Lago you go. So, you know, there's so much going on, but one of the major details in this whistleblower report was that officials in the White House were so alarmed by Trump's call with Ukraine, they moved records of the call to a special top-secret server. And according to the whistleblower, that wasn't the only time they've done this. The White House reportedly restricted access to records of Trump's calls with Vladimir Putin, the Crown Prince of Saudi Arabia, and even the Prime Minister of Australia. Trump tried to get the Prime Minister of Australia to dig up dirt on the Mueller investigation. So this thing is blooming like an onion right now. At this point, it might be easier just to list the names of foreign leaders he hasn't tried to extort, because what could Trump threaten or withhold from Australia? The Hemsworths? I'm sorry, but we're keeping Liam until we figure out what the hell is going on. And if Trump had been putting all his calls in this special classified server or system or whatever, that would be one thing, but he only put a few in, so you know those were the bad ones. This is like putting magazines under your mattress. There's no Popular Mechanics under there. It's porn, okay? And if your mom finds it, you're in a lot of trouble. The Washington Post also spoke to a White House official who explained what Trump was telling these Russian diplomats back in 2017. You remember this one? So, Trump supposedly told them he wasn't concerned that they interfered in our election because the U.S. does it to other countries all the time. And you can see from the expressions on their faces, they can't believe their good fortune. They're like, oh my God, this guy might give us Alaska back if we ask him nicely. So Russia weighed in on all this today. A spokesman for Putin said if the White House wants to release any transcripts of calls between Putin and Trump, they have to get Russian permission first. That's right. And Daddy Vladdy's not going to be happy with little Ding Dong if he doesn't get the okay before he publishes them. This is so crazy. Isn't this crazy, Guillermo?
Very crazy.
Yes, and Trump... Trump also suggested that Adam Schiff, who runs the House Intelligence Committee, be arrested for treason. He suggested that today for daring to look into all these stupid and illegal things he allegedly did. And still, most every prominent Republican is sticking with Trump. None of these guys were on the phone with him, but they're all 100% sure he did nothing wrong. They 100% believe there is no need to look into one iota of this. It's shocking. It really is. And I want to read a quote today that I saw last night. I want to share it on the subject of Donald Trump. And it goes like this. The man is a pathological liar. He doesn't know the difference between truth and lies. He lies with practically every word that comes out of his mouth. And he has a pattern that I think is straight out of a psychology textbook. His response is to accuse everybody else of lying. Whatever he does, he accuses everyone else of doing. The man cannot tell the truth, but he combines it with being a narcissist. A narcissist at a level I don't think this country has ever seen. Everything in Donald's world is about Donald. And he combines being a pathological liar, and I say pathological because I actually think Donald, if you hooked him up to a lie detector test, he could say one thing in the morning, one thing at noon, and one thing in the evening, all contradictory, and he passed the lie detector test each time. Whatever lie he's telling, at that minute, he believes it, but the man is utterly a moron. So, you know, all right. You want to know who said that? Any guesses? Those are the words of none other than Republican Senator Ted Cruz back in 2016. And where is that guy now? How can it all be different? Come on, Ted, fire that Cruz missile again. We need it. Ted Cruz has been pretty quiet throughout this, but the president's henchmen and woman were out in full force this weekend defending their boss baby with everything they've got.
Mueller wasn't a witch hunt, but this is... Salem witch trials have more due process than this. How do you know she's a witch? Somebody told me she's a witch.
What do you
think?
Know
she's a witch?
Do you think
I
the
read
president's...
articles thinking she might be a witch.
Guess what? Daddy comes running to the rescue. The Vice President of the United States
That's not what happened.
Fire that prosecutor.
Sir, that's not what happened.
This is a deep state operative, pure and simple.
If I were the Speaker, I wouldn't want to go into next year's election having it credibly said that all you did for the whole Congress was harass the president and try to remove him from office.
A couple hours later, she does the worst thing a woman in power can do, which is she just changes her mind because the men around her said, change your mind. We need an impeachment.
What do you make of this exchange? President Zelensky says we are almost ready to buy more javelins from the United States for defense purposes. And President Trump replies, I would like you to do us a favor, though.
Well, you just added another word.
No, it's
you said,
in
I'd
the
like
transcript.
you to do a favor, though?
Yes, it's in the White House transcript.
When I read the transcript, President Zelensky brings up a javelin as a protection for anti-tank, something that President Obama would not sell. That President Trump did to protect the Ukraine.
Right, because he cares about the Ukraine very, very deeply. He couldn't find Ukraine on a map, not a chance. I would bet $150,000. You could give him 3 weeks to study it, and he wouldn't be able to find Ukraine. One person who is not defending Trump this weekend was Robert De Niro, who is, you know, usually Robert De Niro is a very private guy, but when it comes to Trump and his friends at Fox News, the raging bull comes out.
This guy should not be president, period.
And when you say that, folks on Fox come after you. I remember the Tonys when he got up there and cursed. A lot of you. Okay, well, you know, this is cable, so it's not an FCC violation, but it is still a Sunday morning.
CNN just met the Fockers. The Through his lawyer, Rudy Giuliani has continued to explain his involvement in Ukraine. Giuliani claims he was asked by the State Department to investigate Hunter Biden and Joe Biden, even though the State Department says that didn't happen. Team Biden responded by sending a letter to all the news networks asking them not to book Giuliani on their shows anymore, which I disagree. I urge them to book Giuliani on their shows as much as possible. I have a show to do, too, and I need him, okay? As an alternative to Giuliani, Biden's team is recommending that they feed a bag of meth to a goat instead and interview that. But the Trump campaign is smart. Their strategy is to make the president look sane by allowing Giuliani to speak as much as possible on every news show all the time. This is from this weekend alone.
I'm glad to see you have the courage to have me on. I'm very dangerous. The reason they want me to be silenced is not because I'm unhinged. It's because I've got facts. I mean, the poor kid is challenged. You know that. I mean, it's a shame.
I don't know that.
I actually think they should all congratulate me.
I want to move the conversation along, because a lot of other stuff is out there.
Because he's a Democrat. No.
Yeah, well, that's obvious.
He's our Al Gore.
All right, Rudy, hold that thought.
Mr. Mayor, how was your meeting with Andre? Do you have time for a call? Best, Kurt? I should be a whistleblower.
There is just so much. It is damaging. It's going to hurt the country.
Yes.
I agree.
Very sad. Why don't you ask him to produce me?
He's coming up right now.
Are you going to ask him? Are you going to interrupt him as often as you interrupt me?
I gave you plenty of chance to.
No, let's see. Let's see how the interview goes.
Okay.
Hi, Adam. Nice to see you.
Thanks for coming.
Gee, how did they go after Joe Biden?
Thank you, Mr. Mayor.
I'm going to kill the guy who did it.
The president has 200 lawyers. That's the one he picks to be on TV. So Rudy was subpoenaed by 3 House committees this afternoon in relation to this. This is all coming to a head, a very, very unhinged hand. Meanwhile, and I'm sure this is no coincidence, as the president faces a scandal involving the use of a separate server to hide records of his phone calls, his State Department is ramping up an investigation into Hillary Clinton's emails. Remember that one? That's what he's focused on. This is like if O.J., halfway through the trial, demanded an investigation of Franco Harris. He was a football player, never mind. Meanwhile, there is a Monday night, I know the NFL fans are elsewhere. And there's good news for those of you who would like to escape the planet, which is a lot of people right now. Elon Musk this weekend, you know the Tesla guy, Elon Musk, unveiled his plan to fly private citizens to the moon. And this is a rocket, which is a little bit phallic, yes. I hope Mike Pence doesn't see this because he will send the Space Force in to blow it up. But Elon Musk said, this is going to sound totally nuts, but I think we want to try to reach orbit in less than 6 months. And let me tell you something. The words, this is going to sound totally nuts, probably the last words I want to hear before traveling into space. Imagine you heard that on a plane. This is going to sound totally nuts. Musk plans to send a Japanese billionaire around the moon sometime in the not-too-distant future. And I'll tell you something. Shooting billionaires into space, best idea I've heard in quite some time. I hope we get to pick which ones. I know we've had a lot of... This is a palate cleanser for you tonight. This is a video that's been making the rounds of a teenage drummer from Gilbert, Arizona, which is part of Phoenix, young man named Dallin, who displayed a creativity and passion rarely seen in high school band. Good, right? Anyway, I have an announcement. We found the kid, and he'll be sitting in with our band tomorrow night. So, get ready, guys. Have a good game. Thanks for watching. And remember, every time you click the subscribe button, one of your enemies gets destroyed.